Hey, what's up everyone? Jason Turley here, back with more picoCTF. Continuing on in the general skills from picoCTF 2023, we have the useless challenge. Let's see why it's named that. Why is it called useless? So the description reads, there's an interesting script in the user's home directory. Additional details will be available after launching the challenge instance. So we have this nice big button here, launch instance, clicking there. All right, well that spins up. You can see in the past, we completed the other 4 videos. So if you're curious about those, you can check those out on the channel. All right, cool. So the tag here reads man. So Linux has the man pages, which I'm sure we'll get into that later, but they're just documentation, right? In the command line, documents and text and scripts and usage and guides on how to run certain commands, how to run programs. So there's an interesting script in the user's home directory. The work computer is running SSH. We've been given a script which performs some basic calculations, explore the script, and find the flag. So we get the host name, port, and the username and password. The password is just password. In a previous video, I was just gushing over how the fact that they provide good, solid, strong passwords. But in this case, it's pretty basic, right? Just password. So I'm going to do the TAC P switch to specify the port. My username is picoplayer, and we want to log into saturn.picoctf.net. Yes, and then type in the password, and we're in. All right, welcome to Ubuntu 20.04.6. There's the kernel version, read some documentation. So ls-l, okay, there's a file called useless. Let's run the file command on it. So born again shell script. So this is the bash script. I can do word count tech line. Need to give it the file, not user. Useless. So there's 32 lines in the file. So that's easy to cat out. So basic mathematical operations via command line arguments. So if $pound does not equal 3, so I'm assuming that's the number of command line arguments. So if whatever arguments you give, if it's not exactly 3, then echo read the code first, and then I guess it just exits. Otherwise, it will take the first argument. If the first argument is add, then do some math, sub. So it's basically a calculator. You tell it whether you want to add, sub, divide, subtract, multiply. Otherwise, read the manual. Interesting. So let's see if we can play around with this. Let's run useless with no arguments. It tells us to read the code. And then add. All right, read the code. Let's just add 2 plus 4. Turns out the sum is 6. Interesting. All right, let's change this to sub. 4 and 5. Okay. So it's just a calculator, right? How can we leverage this to read how can we leverage this to get a flag? So this option here, if we provide something that is not add, subtract, divide, or multiply, it tells us to read the manual. Let's see if we can generate that. So useless, and then we can provide whatever. As long as there's like 3 command line arguments, it'll say read the manual. Now, is there a man for useless? There is. Useless. So this is a simple calculator script that gives us the synopsis, the description, how to use it. And this script was designed and developed by the Scilab Africa. And then it gives us the flag, useless challenge exploited. That's cool. Does this have ltrace or strace installed? No, it doesn't have either. I'm curious, where is it pulling this info from? If I do which $, or just which useless. Okay. Let's find all files that have useless in them. And then any errors, pipe that to dev null. Oh, okay. So we have this. So that's just the script that we're executing. We also have user local share man useless.gz. So what is that? If we could just do a file command on this. Gzip compressed data. Interesting. So let me do an ls on this. Let's look at this directory. What is in this directory? cd ls like la. Okay, so this is the only one here. ls dot. Okay. So essentially, I can go to my own system. So if I do this on my own system, I get pwh.1.gunzip. So the man pages on your system are compressed in, gzip, some type of encoding thing for zip files. And that's where it's pulling the info from. Off the top of my head, I don't know where the rest of them are. But when you run the man command, I could probably do man. I'm not sure if it'll say it here, but it does pull things from the gzip archive, right? I don't see anything here. So when you run the man command, it will search your file system for where the man page is, and they are stored as .gz files. If I grab this, do I have gunzip? Yeah, if I unzip this, I get permission denied. I could probably download this or do some type of privesc thing and try to unzip it. But so if you're ever curious where the man page is pulling info from, it's pulling it from these gzipped compressed files. So let me do man of useless one more time and grab that flag and let's paste it in. So not useless at all. This is a neat little challenge. So if you're curious about any command, not just that, but let's say man of, I don't know, bash, you can read how to use the bash interpreter. You can do man of, I don't know, ls or just less. So pretty neat, pretty cool. If you are going to be using Linux somewhat regularly, especially, well, you will have to for picoCTF, reading the man pages and knowing how to navigate them, super useful. So that's it, guys. There you have it. Let me know if you learned anything cool in this video. As always, take it easy and see you guys in the next video.